First and foremost, we say Kawaii Bo Yehovah Shema Shah B'Shema Akak Wadash. And double honors to the elders and the prophets, the great minister, and GMS, the Lord. As always, we'll go into these articles, go into these scriptures. Go through it, day in, day out. First article I got from CBC News. Let's see if it loads. Yeah. Russia's Putin signs updated doctrine that lowers threshold for using nuclear weapons. Here's
hey, how's it going? Are you live?
Yeah.
And you're preaching the word of God?
Yeah. But I preach that the two tribes of Israel are so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But it's not about complexion.
Yeah.
Right, you see the C line goes to your father.
Yeah.
So if your father's a black man.
So I'm Igbo.
Yeah, you're Igbo.
Yeah. So
we always talk about that, man.
Yeah,
Igbo, Hebrew, is
we're brothers. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful thing. How old are you?
It doesn't matter. I'm only 23, man.
23.
Yeah.
No,
don't
it
matter,
does
though.
matter. It matters because you're early on your mission, and it's awesome. Yeah. It's an awesome thing to be early on your mission.
But it's not of me though. It's the spirit that guides me. You know, because like, you know. You go through it, run into curses. You know, we're not the top people in this society, right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Right, but you still got to come out here and teach, man.
Yeah.
And you got to learn who you are.
Yeah.
No, what do you know?
I feel like I'm a Levi.
Levi?
Yeah, I've been praying and meditating on it early, and you know, I feel like God put me. I feel like my family's within the priesthood. I know my family are educators.
Right.
And I know the covenant is on us. It's just tough being in Babylon.
You do know. What are you watching? You watching IUIC?
I just know my God. I know my God.
You gotta watch GMS. I learned everything from Great Millstone.
Yeah.
Don't mess with no IUIC. Those guys. Those guys are cops, man.
No, I don't. I'm not streaming. I'm not streaming anybody right now.
How are you supposed to learn?
So the Bible.
Who you learning from? Who you gonna get your breakdowns from?
I read it, and then you know, God is majestic, man.
Right.
Like the lessons come from us just being mindful, you know. So like that's why I came to talk to you, because I was like, this man is streaming the word of God.
Of course,
and it's so important because it's such a dying thing for people to push. It's you feel like an outsider in this world doing what you're doing, and but you're not. It's just the fear of most people to subscribe to what God has called them.
I mean, our world is in darkness, man. The only thing that we teach is this light, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this out for you real quick, right? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 30, verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. All right, so for a long time there was no one teaching, right? But through, One West, through a man named Abba Bivens, that's when we really started to learn, know who we are. That's when it came back, because we once knew all these things. This was well known. We didn't have to go back and say, oh, look, I gotta go to the sign. There was no sign back then. We know who we were. But through the slave trade, right, through us being taken down as a people, right? The so-called white men, they took the stuff away from us.
It's funny because like a lot of the guys on my team.
And now we know. So now your teachers are out here. So you gotta go check out Great Millstone, man.
Great Millstone.
Great Millstone on YouTube. Go look up GMS or Great Millstone.
Okay.
And just start watching videos. Learn what the name of the Lord is.
You know who I really tapped into early? Know the Ledger, Red and Blue Pill. back in like 2015 when they were on the streets in New York. Now these boys are.
I never heard of those guys.
You never heard of them?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm a young guy. Maybe guys that watch me are like guys that have been in the state longer than me. Like my elders probably know that. Yeah, they
possible.
Yeah,
because I'm an old head now.
Yeah.
37. Not really old. That's why I asked you your age. You're not really young. You're, our spirits are like, infinite. Right. But yeah, those guys tap me in, and it's so amazing. Y'all living in this energy of New York. It's beautiful, and it's very intelligent. It's like it's vibrant.
Absolutely. What's the name of the Lord, though, man? Yeah, did you learn the name of the Lord?
What is the name of the Lord?
Obi Yahweh.
Obi Yahweh.
Right, Yahweh. Not Yahweh. Because like back then they didn't have E's in the Hebrew.
Yeah.
They had A's. There was a lot of Ha's, a lot of Wa's, a lot of Yah's.
The O is strong in the Igbo language. Or if I see somebody's name that starts with O, I automatically ask them, are you Nigerian?
Yeah, a lot of times.
So Obi Yahweh.
Yeah. It'll be Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Right, Yahweh.
Obi Yahweh?
No, just Yahweh.
Just Yahweh. Why did I thought I heard you say Obi.
No, I never said Obi, just Yahweh. when you go into what you gotta do, right, is that when you go into like the Hebrew Old Testament and everything, you just literally see the characters Yah, Ha, Wa, Ha. You add it together, it'll just be Yahweh. Because Hebrew has connectors. So the Wa and the Ha connect, and you get Yahweh. Yah meaning he, Hawa meaning exists, because he is. That's how you literally say he is. The son's name, right, we will call Jesus, Yahweh God. Jesus, we didn't have Jesus back then. The letter J came from, what's his name, something Tricino, a guy named Tricino, like the 1700s. They had Jesus back then. Even in Rome in Latin, they didn't have Jesus. It'll be Iesus. That's the way they said it, But I don't want to go too deep, because a lot of that stuff, Jesus Christ, that name, that stuff goes back to like a false god called Serapis Christus, which I think was pushed out by Ptolemy. So this stuff that people worship as white Jesus, that stuff really goes back to paganism. When you look for Jesus Christ, in reality, he would be a blasphemy. A little bit of dirt off of this. In a while. You know why I'm just blasphemy about this stuff. You see Daniel 7, right there, they say, with the wool, right? In which chapter 1, the statement says the white man wool is whiter than snow, right? His arms and his feet one color to polished brass, right? It's the color of polished brass, with dark skin. That's what the whole called Jesus Christ. His real name is Issachar. He's a dark-skinned man, white hair, a white afro, white bushy hair, like us.
Bro, I'm getting so much white hair. It's coming in so hard. I'm shaving it off.
He wasn't white. He didn't have long hair. Even when you go into Apostle Paul said having long hair is not natural to him. Even us guys, we're not supposed to have hair like crazy, all the way down, like past like our neck. We're not supposed to be like out here with like super crazy long dreads. Hair. Even dreads is off, man. Dreads go back to Shiva Janas. You ever hear those?
No.
That stuff was going back to like India. In the Bible they called them Elam. They're into that stuff. Elam.
What? Okay.
That's their history. Like having your hair matted and having it come down like that. That's evil.
My brother, I gotta go see my wife. But it was great talking to you.
Remember, Great Millstone, to watch the videos.
Great Millstone. Great Millstone. All right, my brother. I thank you so much.
No problem, brother. All right, see that? Normally don't get a chance to go through basics like that, but go through it. But I'll review it. I'll probably make a video about it later. mean, I went into all that stuff already, but
number one, it's right, because, you know, we all four of us had like we weren't very close. We were like
the book of Proverbs chapter 9, verse 1, wisdom has built a house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. She hath killed her beast. She hath mingled her wine. She hath also formed her table. Right? This is all going how this truth, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, it leads you spiritually full. You know, what I was doing right there was that I was spiritually feeding that man. He had some good questions. He was like, hey, you know, it's good to see, you know, guys out here pushing this, and, you know, this world is like this. You know, I didn't pull out everything I was thinking about, but, you know, there's much more I could get into, like Isaiah 60, you know, about how this world is in gross darkness. You know, it's going to get worse, because like it says in the book of 2nd Ezra, that, you know, much more evil is going to appear on the planet Earth, right? So it's the book of let's see here. Who that is, man? He is this prophet not. Hand joined in hand as a jewel. I just got into this too. If I could find this. Book of Proverbs to the 10 verse 20. Book of Proverbs to the 10 verse 21. The lips of the righteous shall feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom, right? Or being without wisdom. Right? And that's what we do. We feed the hopeful elect of our people with his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know, he came up, you know, he said in the spirit, you know, he comes from the Igbo, right? You know that the southern kingdom, they dwelt among each other. You know, so very well he could be a Levite. You know, it's very possible. Chances are. Right? So she hath sent forth her maidens, she cried upon the highest places of the city. Right? And that's what we do. We come in, week in, week out. Right? Whether our people here or they're forbidden. Right? At the end of the day, we do our job as a watchman. Right?
Sound.
See here. Where did I put that book?
Well, at the end of everything done,
my biggest problem as of late has been preparation. So we're making sure having everything together. It's Book of Proverbs, the 1 verse 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth a voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, and the openings of the gates, and the city she uttereth a word, saying, among you simple ones, will you love simplicity, and scorners delight in the scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Right? And that's what we do. We're in the chief place of concourse, and the openings of the gates. As I said before, you know, we're not teaching scriptures out of backlog. Teaching in secret, and we don't have to. You know, in this time period now, we're still able to come out and push this truth. There's gonna be time soon where, you know, we're gonna have to be off the street corners when the martial law comes down and Jacob's trouble comes down, but that hasn't happened yet. So there's still work to do. Looks like we're here. Skipping down, right? Looks like she's read on. Turn ye on my reproof, behold, I put my spirit unto you, and I will make known my words unto you, right? And that's what we do, like it says in Habakkuk, right? Make the word plate upon table so he may run that readeth it. And that word for run means to make post, right? Or to carry the news, right? So our job is to teach, right? Over the internet, over these, satellites and things. And then brothers watch, and then brothers go and try and teach themselves, right? If the Spirit's dealing with them, right? Well, dealing with them in that way and has them do it, right? Verse 25, but you have said not at all my counsel, and with none of my reproof, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh, right? So when these times come, when these things really start popping off, Jacob's trouble, the martial law, all the prophecies that we've been going into day in, day out, cigarette. When all these things start to come down, which you said was going to come down, which these alternative news guys, recently been coming out, they're saying is going to come down, right? Then, we're going to laugh, right? Which ultimately we're going to laugh upon the chariots, the one about that number, right? Right? Verse 28, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. Right? Because we're not going to be out here no more. We're not going to be here to teach and push this truth or to confirm your suspicions. Right? Because very soon the time of teaching is going to be over. Right?
So much money. It was
the time of teaching, the time of warning is going to be over. Right? Of course, we teach and warn our people, right? And we tell everyone else the destruction, right? We call it to really, we teach the elect of our people, everyone else, we tell them of their impending and coming doom, right? So this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse, I'll go here. Verse 16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the way and see, and ask for the old way and walk therein, and you shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. Right? And as it was back then, right, the prophets came in, warning our people back then in those days, this is before Babylon, destruction by Babylon. Our people don't want to listen. Right, it's the same thing now. Our people here in the new Babylon, they don't want to listen, right? Even though their destruction is coming soon, right? Verse 17, also I said, watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, you will not hearken, right? So that's what it is, right? We blow in this trumpet spiritually, but our people don't want to listen. And we're warning them, they don't want to listen, right? Book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 1, going to this one, looking like every camp pretty much. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Right? So that's what we do. We lift up our voice like a trumpet, and show our people their transgressions. We're not going to sit in the corner. We're not going to teach new things or teach different doctrines or water down the scriptures. The scriptures say what the scripture says, and that's period. Right? Everything I said to that man may have sounded harsh, right, in a carnal sense to people. Like what he did, you know, these other Israelite camps, they teach, you know, nothing but, you know, I don't even know what they teach anymore. I mean, they don't teach the name, right? These other groups, they're all about looking cool and being showy and doing marches, right? They're not teaching, right? That's 58. They got a little bit more in here. Joel 2. So there's no excuse to be stuck when you have all these brothers making videos. You got all these topics to choose from. You got all these things you can make videos on. Right? You got scriptures. You got websites that help you find scriptures, man. Like, there's no excuse. This is definitely the end. Knowledge has definitely been increased. We have it all right now. Right? This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 1. Blow you the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Right? And that's what we come out here week in and week out to teach. Right? The day of the Lord is near. Right? That day of the Lord, as we read on, right? A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and a thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and strong, they have not been ever the like, neither shall there been any after, even to the years of many generations. What is that great people, right? That great people is talk about these missiles, right? Of course there's never been people like them. These are people that got, you know, exhaust pipes and jet fuel and shit, and they fly and they release, and then they make warheads, right? And those warheads also hit their targets, right? There's never been something seen like that on the planet Earth, right? A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, nothing shall escape them, right? That's what's going to happen to America. America's going to be left as a desolate wilderness. But these missiles, when they hit an area, they completely change a landscape, right? The appearance of them is the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots and the tops of mountains should they leap. The noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble as a strong people set in battle array. Before the face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the walls like men of war. And they shall march everyone on his way. And they shall not break their ranks. Right? So these missiles, they're computer guided. Right? But the Lord is going to pour out his spirit in those days when World War III happens. And he's going to make sure that those missiles, every last one of those missiles, hit their target. You know, there's going to be no missiles being astray. That's why I said, I made a video not too long ago, I said, hey, you know, you nations and you doing your damn nuclear drills, you're wasting precious manpower and training hours. Because in that day, those missiles are going to hit. You don't got to worry about that. The Lord is going to make sure that when you aim those missiles at America, that they're definitely going to hit this place. Right? See where I want to go from here.
And I always figured too, Mom was like, she was like, as long as Matt's open to you guys.
So we're gonna hurry up here. It said I had this article, right? Russian Putin signs updated doctrine that lowers threshold for using nuclear weapons. 1,000th day since Russia invaded, Kremlin says Ukraine has employed long-range U.S. missiles, right? And they use it to hit an area called Bryansk Oblast, which is in like northwestern Russia, and Ukraine is like kind of southeast to like the west, southeastern. It's like I can't explain it. It's to like the southwest of Russia, basically, right? So I just looked up the Russian Wikipedia, Russia and weapons of mass destruction. The Russian Federation is known to have or have possessed 3 types of weapons of mass destruction: nuclear weapons, biological weapons, and chemical weapons. It is one of the 5 nuclear weapon states recognized under the Treaty of Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, and one of the 4 countries wielding a nuclear triad. Right? So, that's why we read the scriptures, it says that the end of the beast is has the feet like unto a bear, because Russia's gonna really be the nation's gonna put an end to this, put an end to it. Which is really gonna be Hawashai and the angels, they're gonna take all the credit. But Russia's gonna be a piece of that. Right? I was gonna get into the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons and the nuclear triad. Pretty much means that you have, so Wikipedia, nuclear triad is a 3-pronged military force structure of land-based ICBMs, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, and strategic bombers, so air, land, and water, right? With nuclear bombs and missiles. Countries build nuclear triads to eliminate an enemy's ability to destroy a nation's nuclear force in the first strike attack, which preserves their own ability to launch a second strike, and therefore increases their nuclear deterrence, right? And that's pretty much what the article is about. Putin has basically got rid of their first strike agreements, or agreements that they wouldn't be the first to launch a nuclear weapon. And now, since the United States has given Ukraine ATACMS, right, now they're throwing that out the window, and now they're saying that their threshold for launching a first strike is going to be lessened, right? But there's going to be no nuclear war tomorrow, right? That's going to be the end. Before comes Jeremiah 30:6, right? So I think we'll get Ezekiel 38. I think I'm about ready to wrap it up here. Right, it's the book of Ezekiel chapter 38. Verse 1, this is the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy voice against God, land of Magog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them. And say, thus saith the Lord, all that I'm against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Right? Meshach and Tubal would be Moscow and Tobolsk today, in Russia. And I'll turn thee back in thy hooks into thy jaws, and I'll bring thy forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, and all their clothes with all sorts of army, even a great company of them, with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Right? So all these nations that allied with Russia, right? Persia, did I say Persia? No, that's later on. And all these nations that are with them, right? And all their armies and all their different diverse weaponry, right? And they looked into their jaws because you had the dissolution of the Soviet Union, and for a time Russia was basically, not to give a whole history lesson, but for a time you had Russian business oligarchs running the show, right? But the Lord, through Putin, has risen Russia back up to be used as a tool to bring about the end and ultimate nuclear annihilation of the United States of America, which is Babylon the Great, according to the scriptures, right? Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, House of Togomar, Turkey, the North Quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that I assemble unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And guard in the Hebrew basically just means leader, right? We'll skip down. Verse 10. Thus saith the Lord God, shall come to pass at that time, shall things come into thy mind, thou shalt think the evil thought. Right? The evil thought is that they're going to want to invade America. Right? And thou shalt say, I'll go up to the land of unwalled villages, and I'll go to them that are rest to dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither walls and having neither bars nor gates. Verse 12, take the spoil and take the prey to turn my hand upon the desolate place, the now inhabited, and upon the people that I gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods to dwell in the midst of the land. Right? And Russia's going to try to take over America next year. Right? And that's prophecy. Right? But they're going to want to try and take this place down. They're going to attack this place. Right? As you read down, they're going to get these NATO and these new nations turn their back on America as well. But ultimately, no one's going to invade America because America is going to be destroyed. Right? So, with that, pretty much made my point. I'm not filming you. Allah willing, notified, and let that be that. Inshallah.